This is Attack on Omaha Beach. It's a mode for a very simple card game, very thematic. It represents a squad of U.S. soldiers landing on Omaha Beach, dodging machine gun fire, avoiding mines hidden in the sand, and crossing obstacles to reach the German positions here, represented by a pillbox that is defending the beach. It's designed by Joseph Propati. He has a name that I cannot pronounce. He made this game for a board game geek contest, and there is another mod in the Steam workshop about this game, which is made from a very early version of the game. The designer kept developing this game. I don't know if he published it professionally. He allowed me to create this mode, of course, but he did develop the game further with all this amazing art and revised rules. So this is what I've used to create this mod. Here you have the rules. This is a PDF. You can use. It's very easy to learn and very easy to read. There are two cards that I didn't add, which are basically the rules of the game, and they don't read that well, so I didn't add them at all. But with this, you are set. These are all the cards that you would need. These are the 4 cards that are basically used for bookkeeping, right? Your hit points, your squad. This is your landing craft, which marks the assault phase you're on, and when you reach the pillbox, you turn it around. This is your sniper rounds for the advanced game and the basic game, and the same for the demo charges. You just rotate this and mark the number of the top, how many you have left. If you have your rotation degrees to 90, you know, if you play games where you have it to 90, which is very, very useful for games where you just tap cards, right? Then you probably need to put this to 15 or 30, so you can rotate these cards easier, and you don't have to worry about snapping to the wrong number. These are the cards you will be deploying here as the beach obstacles through every assault phase. And then you have these replacement cards where you know when you use a demolition charge on a card, or you discover a mine which hurts you put the proper crater on that card, and that's what this is. The cards are the same exact amount that's on the PDFs and on the physical game of the copy. I say physical because I'm pretty sure the designer has a copy of the game on the game crafter, so you can buy your own copy of this game, just a set of cards, and you're done. What I have done is, you can see here the grid, right? This grid is very useful, very easy to create your own grid for when you're playing. You can disable it. These are not snap points. This is just a grid, so you can disable it. I like to use it, but you can disable it or make it invisible or whatever. It's very useful. Even the rotated cards stay in place, on the center, so it's very, very useful to keep everything organized when you're moving cards around. Like I said, you can disable it if you don't like it. Also, I have added this pillbox. It's just, fluff, right? This is just to make the game look prettier. It's a simple World War II pillbox. You can use it as a replacement for this. When you reach the last assault phase, you can put it on the correct column where you're going to assault the pillbox, or you can just leave it there as decoration and use the card as normal. Also, I've added a pawn, so it's easy on the physical game to just use the card, right? The squad card. I keep grabbing that. The squad card, to put it on top of the terrain you're moving, and you can rotate it to mark the hit points. But sometimes it happens on Tabletop Simulator. Let's say you find a mine under this card, right? And instead of doing this and replacing it with this crater, and you just put this card here, if you do what you would do you usually do in your physical game, which just put the card on top. Sometimes, depending on the angle that this card is, maybe it's just a little move or something. When you put it down, it will straighten up because it would think you're putting this card on the deck. Right, that's something Tabletop Simulator will do sometimes on its own. So to avoid that and to put the wrong hit points on your card, I will just use this pawn, which is very pretty, very simple. It's one of the default items on the game. So you can move your pawn. It snaps to your grid, and then when you are done with this section, you grab a ball. The pawn stays on top. You put your line down and you start doing this. So all you have to do is just shuffle these cards to play the game, and that's it. You use this as bookkeeping, right? Face assault 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can put the hit points here until you are dead and you lose the game. Same with this. One thing I will recommend you do is when you shuffle, decide on how many times you want to shuffle the cards and stick to that, right? You want to shuffle just once, maybe you want to shuffle twice. Just press the button twice and do it. The reason I say this is in the physical game, when you shuffle these cards, you just grab them and you shuffle them, and the important information is below, right? The back of the cards. But the front of the cards is also kind of important because it will tell when you're setting up your new place. Maybe your pawn is here, so you place the cards like this, right? 1, 2, 3 through 9. Start here. So when you're shuffling, you can see the top card. You cannot not see the top card. So maybe your brain will play games with you and say, oh I didn't want that, and shuffle again, right? I'm not saying it's cheating, because cheating in solitaire games makes no sense, but maybe to avoid your little mind dilemma, just keep in mind that. Just decide, I'm going to shuffle 3 times every time, so just shuffle 3 times and start placing your cards, and you can forget about it. That's the only thing that you will be doing different from the physical game. All the rest is exactly the same. Like I said, I prefer to use, even in the physical game, I prefer to use a pawn instead of the card. I will just leave the card as bookkeeping, yeah, like you use these ones. So it's easy to know what you're doing, and of course you can conquer the pillbox if you want to, or you can use this card. That's all there is to it. Remember, you can disable the grid if you don't like it, if you don't like cards snapping and you want a more natural look. Of course, this is the flex table I'm using, so you can click here and change the texture. You can put some felt, some boring felt if you want to, if you don't like the beach landing texture here, and that's it. This is Attack on Omaha Beach. The designer has allowed me, of course, to make this mod, so all these components are available on Board Game Geek in the files section. The new ones, the only place I've seen the old components is on the other mod that's on the Steam Workshop, but all of this you can find on Board Game Geek to print your own copy of the game if you want to take it inside your pocket to the beach and play some beach landing on Omaha Beach.